Lawmakers investigating the Uvalde shooting prepare to release their preliminary report as video from inside the school goes public.
It's a good beginning step, but it's not the full story.
Now, families react to the leaked video.
Somebody should have taken initiative and said, hey, we got to do something now.
Why the images from inside Robb Elementary are renewing questions and calls for transparency. Record heat across Texas raises concerns for the state's power grid.
This is not politics. This is not a turf battle. We're trying to maintain the power supply for Texans who rely on it.
We dig deeper into the rising need for electricity and what's missing from how we predict the demand for power.
Produced from the Capitol in Austin and airing statewide, this is the award-winning State of Texas.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Josh Hinkle. This week, we're coming to you from outside an Austin Energy power substation. The electric grid has been a focus of attention this past week across Texas. Demand for electricity spiked as temperatures hit near record highs. That led ERCOT, the state's grid operator, to call on Texans to conserve energy. The state avoided rolling blackouts, but concerns about the grid remain as we move closer to the hottest part of the year. Coming up, we'll dig deeper into the response to the call for conservation and why some key information may be missing from the power demand forecast. First, we're following developing news this Sunday. The Texas House Committee investigating the mass shooting at Robb Elementary in Uvalde plans to release its preliminary report. This comes after weeks of closed-door testimony from members of law enforcement who responded to the shooting. The committee plans to convene this afternoon in Uvalde and meet with people in the community before releasing the report to the public. Committee members will also show 77 minutes of video from inside the school hallway during the shooting. They intended to let people in Uvalde see that video before it went public, but on Tuesday it was leaked to a reporter. It shows the gunman entering the school and audio of gunshots being fired into the classroom. The video also shows what law enforcement did and did not do in response to the active shooter. Now on the ground, Jayla Washington and Monica Madden are in Uvalde looking closer at how the community is responding to the video and what to expect from the report.
It has been almost 2 months since the Uvalde shooting, and all around us are reminders of that tragic day. Still, Monica, the community here does not have a lot of answers.
You're right, Jayla. I spoke with the state senator from Uvalde who has been pushing for transparency since the beginning. And he says even once we get this preliminary report, it still might not give us all the details we need to know what happened that day.
What remains is a hollow feeling in our gut as we drive through our sleepy downtown, which quickly turns to pain and anger.
Speaking from a White House event Monday in celebration of historic gun legislation, Uvalde's sole pediatrician reminded Americans what their community still needs.
Seek the truth, transparency, and ultimately accountability.
They might be one step closer to getting some answers with the upcoming release of the House Investigative Committee's preliminary report, plus 77 minutes of footage from a hallway camera inside Robb Elementary that day.
It's a good beginning step, but it's not the full story.
On Tuesday, the full hallway video was leaked, showing how the gunman entered and what law enforcement did and did not do.
It's not going to give us any indication as to who really, if anybody, was in charge.
Uvalde State Senator Democrat Roland Gutierrez is suing Texas DPS over his unfulfilled records requests.
Until we get all of the information and all of the body cam footage, we will not accept what is being shown to us.
The governor also called for the hallway video to be released at a Monday event in Dallas.
The public has a right to know.
If the governor wants accountability, then he should demand full accountability, not a little hallway video.
Caught in the political debate over what to release, the people of Uvalde. They took their frustration to the streets last week. This sign reading, "Protect and Serve," failed.
Together, we're trying to get them the answers that they need.
Okay, so Monica, what happens next exactly after this report goes public?
Well, the committee members are hoping it's going to provide some context to that video that the public has already seen. Details like one of the police officers who was in the hallway seen looking at his phone. One of the committee members already said online that that was the husband of one of the teachers inside who was communicating with him. So this report will provide some of those details, but as you heard from Senator Gutierrez, this isn't the full picture. There are still a lot of records requests that need to be filled, stuff like the 911 calls and the body cam footage. So it is a preliminary report and only one aspect of this investigation, Jayla.
Alrighty. Well, we have much more ahead here in Uvalde on this special edition of State of Texas.